Hello and welcome to VRA's round 5 of the GTN Championship live here at Circuit Zandvoort. I'm your commentator for tonight, Niall Maher, and we are hoping we can drag Rob King into this, who's sitting behind me at the moment. Cars are just heading out into qualifying, which is going to be a 10-minute qualifying, so we're going to keep that, keep you live with that while we're looking at it. So just try and get set up around the track. So it's Jordan Kelly that we're on board with at the moment. No Jack Canan, of course, tonight. Jack's gone back to university, so if you're watching in, Jack, hello, and we miss you. Come back as soon as you can. Streams are live on Facebook and up on YouTube as well, so get the comments in. We'll try and get the commentary team looking at some of those comments as the race is going on. Got 18 cars out in the grid so far tonight. We've got Keith Dempsey up with us in VRA here tonight, and we're very proud to say that Keith Dempsey has been nominated after his emphatic win at the Virtual Leinster Trophy to represent Ireland at the up-and-coming Motorsports Games presented by FIA live in Rome. That's coming up in November. That's an amazing achievement to have Keith qualify for that and to represent Ireland. So I'm very proud that VRA can be a part of that, and that of course puts esports on the map in Ireland, puts VRA very much in the seat of presenting that driver to represent Ireland, and Keith's up with us tonight. So Keith will be shown as pod number 3. We couldn't get his name changed just in time, and we've also got the one and only Ronan Hederman. So we were tempted earlier on to see if we could get a picture of Keith and Ronan up by Southside Corner for that all-time epic crash that they had up there, but neither of them were into that. So without further ado, we'll just see what the run is down. So we're 2.5 minutes here into qualifying, and we'll just go through the cars here to see who we've got. So team 3 at the moment is Keith Dempsey, as we were saying. We're just right on board with Keith. Keith was currently, he hadn't got the setup here. He was saying he wasn't feeling that comfortable with the sim rig here in VRA compared to his own one at home, which is fair enough. It's completely different setups, different feel and everything to them. Behind Keith we've got Brad O'Neill. Brad, of course, he'd be very comfortable in his sim with that new set of Housingveld Ultimate pedals underneath his feet, and if you haven't seen it, it's an awesome sim that Brad has set up for himself. So we'll keep an eye on Brad. He's been going quicker and quicker over the last few races. Simon Wall, again, another VRA regular out in that Ferrari liveried car. He is another one to watch. Currently a second off pace, but Simon is more than capable of putting on a very good race. Evan Walsh, as ever, did we manage to get Evan's skin loaded up in the car? We didn't for tonight, as Keith Dempsey goes around at 140 dead almost. Evan Walsh, again, just really strong sim racer, is somebody to watch. Has won our historic mini racing here up in Mondello as well, so great to see Evan out with us tonight as Keith's back into the pits. Brian McManus, is that Brian into the wall? I'm not sure. Let's just see. I think it is. So Brian resets. That's one of the things with sim racing, you can just simply reset the car with any damage and back into the pits. It is a competitive esports event recognised by FIA at this stage. So that's me sitting there. If you see safety car, we actually do have a safety car that can go out and run if required to regather the cars. We'll just see who else have we got out. So currently it's Keith Dempsey on pole, Brad O'Neill's on second, Peter McCann. Peter McCann's gone so well with his racing. He's really recovered and come back, got his head down, got focused. Of course, Peter's in the new house. Moved into the new house, got a sim set up, and Peter will be delighted to know we're just building up his sim here ready for shipping. Peter, of course, buying one of the limited edition VRA sim rigs. Closely followed then by Brian McManus, Simon Wall, Jordan Kelly, the Formula V racer, frequenter into VRA HQ here in Mondello. Adam Dowling, not too far off, just 2 tenths behind that. That's going to be a great race between Jordan Kelly, Adam Dowling and Evan Walsh. Sergey Grabin is rounding out top 9 with Michael McCarthy now in P1 in 11 is Ronan Hederman, so that name isn't shown right there. That's a technical issue on our side. Tony Stack, Daniel Danis, Sanyo Alpha, who's our championship leader, is in, but Sanyo not going very well. He's down way off, so definitely some type of issues with Sanyo, but I'm sure if he gets that figured out in the next 4 minutes, we're going to see him very much at the top of this leaderboard. James Wigfield, a new sim racer with us, joining us for this inaugural race here. We'll see how James goes. And the ever entertaining Rob O'Neill rounds out the top 16. So as I said, there's 18 cars to grid, so we'll just wait for the next 2 to come out of the pits. So we'll just see if we can have a look at Sanyo Alpha just to see how he is going, but I'd be very surprised to see if he is actually 16 seconds off Keith Dempsey's as Ron Hederman goes PB. There's someone out on the track. Sanyo, well accomplished sim racer, and let's see what he can put in on this lap. Doesn't seem to have any issues with that car, so we'll just keep an eye on this time. He's looking very quick. As I said that, he's gone around the 1:39.5, so as expected, Sanyo Alpha was going to be very quick around here. Obviously had issues at the start, but has put the car currently on P1. So I said the T.3 is actually Keith Dempsey. He's with us here tonight, racing on one of the VRA rigs, and he goes pole. He goes faster than Sanyo, so we've got a race in our hands. 3/10. So currently, with 1 minute to go, we just stay on board here with Sanyo Alpha to see if he can better keep Dempsey's times. Now he's given up on that run. He's got to obviously just try a quick, or has he? That wouldn't make sense in sim racing, but he's gone back into the pits, so he's actually abandoned on that, I think. So currently it's Keith Dempsey on pole, followed by Sanyo Alpha, Brian McManus in third place, Brad O'Neans, Peter McCann, Adam Dowling, Simon Wall, Daniel Danis, Jordan Kelly, Tony Stack, Sergey Grabin, Evan Walsh down in 12th, Ronan Hederman behind him, Michael McCarthy, James Wigfield, and Rob O'Neill ran at the top 16. So we obviously lost 2 drivers. Not sure if that's from technical issues or not, but Sanyo going out for one more. He obviously thinks he can get around before the end of this qualifying session. So let's just stick with Sanyo. We know Keith Dempsey is on pole. Brian McManus is gone purple sector as well. So let's see. It's going to be a shootout as we come down to the last minute of our qualifying session. It's going to be a 20 lap race after this. With lap times about 140s, we're expecting. Most drivers won't be pitting during the race. Our understanding is the hard tyres will get through the 20 laps if you fuel up the car right. So we're going to see an interesting start to the race. Long run down at turn 1, and we'll see if these there we got 17 drivers out at the moment, but Ryan McCluck, I think that is. We'll have to keep an eye on that as Evan Walsh goes quick as well to bring himself up into the top 10. Brian McManus not able to better his time. Can Sanyo get around? He doesn't get around before the flag, so I think that is the end of the qualifying for Sanyo. So as it currently stands, it's Keith Dempsey from Sanyo Alpha, Brian McManus, Then Brad O'Neill's, Peter McCann, Adam Dowling, Simon Wall, followed by Jordan Kelly, Daniel Dennis, Evan Walsh, Tony Stack, Sergey unable to improve as well. Then we have Roner Hedeman, who's represented by P1, Michael McCarthy, James Wigfield, Rob O'Neill, and I'm not sure if Sanyo is going to be. Let's just ride on board with him. I don't think he will get to finish out that lap, but he's going for it. So Ronan goes better again, but doesn't improve on 13th. So I think Sanyo is going to be able to finish out this lap. The way it works in Assetto Corsa, which is a simulation software we're using, is you get what's at the top of your screen. You can see now overtime, and that is 20% of the whole time to finish the lap. So I don't think it's going to be close if he can get this one around, and I don't think he can, but he is very experienced in this. So as I say that, Brad O'Neill's betters himself up to third ahead of Brian McManus, and he will be well chuffed with himself. So well done on that, Brad. I'm sure there's a big smug smile on your face at the moment. Peter McCann 140.5. This is going to be close now from Sanyo, whether or not he can do it. Keith Dempsey, I'm looking at him here, is pulled over. No, as I thought, that was the end of that session. So let's just see if we can get the times. So there's confirmation of our times. Is Sanyo Alpha didn't better his time, so it's Keith Dempsey on pole, followed by Sanyo Alpha from Croatia, Brad O'Neill's the UK driver in, with Brian McManus in behind him. Some really strange reason Peter McCann has an Italian flag, but I can tell you that man is sitting somewhere in Mayo right now. Adam Dowling rounds out the top 6. Then we've Simon Wall, Jordan Kelly, Dominicus Danis, Evan Walsh, Tony Stack, Sergey Grabon, Ronan Hedeman in pod 1. Keith's asking to go to the jacks. You can, Keith. Got a minute. Out you go. Get your shoes on. James Wigfield in 16th. Ben McCluckery. This is a new sim race. I haven't seen Ben before this race, so this will be his first race in. It's telling us that it's reverse grid. We're only running one race tonight. It's going to be 20 laps, and we're waiting to take to the grid. So it will be interesting to see how these cars get into turn 1 and get rotated around that. We're having difficulty all week coming into turn 1 on cold tyres. So again, just while we're showing that, just to reconfirm, we're extremely excited tonight to say that Keith Dempsey has managed to qualify to represent Ireland at the FIA Motorsports game live from Rome. That will be in the first weekend of November. So you can see we've got Team Australia, Team Denmark, Team Georgia, Team Germany, Hong Kong. Then representing Ireland is Keith Dempsey. Team Latvia, Lithuania, Macedonia, Norway, Poland, Russia, Switzerland, Taiwan, Thailand, and rounded out by James Baldwin from the UK. So an amazing accomplishment from Keith, and hopefully he can get back from the toilets outside, because that's where Keith currently is. But you're back in, Keith, with 1 minute to go. One of the many benefits of sim racing, Keith, you nip out to the jacks and come back in. So we've got Ronan with us as well here. So Ronan's currently sitting in 13th place, was it? I think it was, but he's saying, oh my god, behind me here. So no piss off, Keith, if you don't, but just make sure you're fueled up and got your tyres on. Get a fresh set of boots, and you've 20 seconds to go. So we have lights on, I'm sure. I'm just looking at Keith here. I'm not sure if he has managed to get it done, but 1 light out, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights. We wait for them to go out as we start our Zandvoort race, and they're off. Great start from Keith Dempsey. Absolutely lighted up off the line. And I believe we have Sanyo Alpha's all the way back down behind. Someone's gone off in the background. But it's Brad O'Neill's, Brian McManus, and Sanyo Alpha down in the forward, followed by Adam Dowling. Great start from Keith Dempsey. Just absolutely nailed it off the line. Brad O'Neill's in between Keith and Sanyo Alpha. As we're thinking about spin in the background, we do. Oh, that's Brian McManus. He won't be happy with that. Brian was all week looking forward to this race and just putting it up to Brad O'Neill's. That promotes Sanyo Alpha into 3rd position. It's currently just sitting on the back wing of Brad. I'm not going to even attempt some of the track corners on this. This was a skill that Jack used to have, but unfortunately I can't even name some of the corners that these guys are going into. But as we see in the background, Sanyo Alpha just having a look. Let's have a look at that race in the background, and around goes Brad O'Neill. So we missed that, but that looks like there's been an incident between Sanyo Alpha and promotes Adam Dowling up into 3rd place. Maybe we will get to see that race now between Brian McManus and Brad O'Neill, but is Brad gone? I think he has. Too much damage to that car, obviously. No, he's in 10th place. Sanyo Alpha is now closing in onto the back of Keith Dempsey. But like for like cars, so that's going to be an epic race to watch, as Adam Dowling in 3rd place has Jordan Kelly, the Formula V racer, right behind him in that Porsche, followed by Brian McManus. So we're going to have more or less someone stopped on the track there, so we have to see who that is.
Niall, safety cars on the grid.
Yeah. We ride on board with Keith Dempsey. You can see in the mirror in the background Sanyo Alpha 2nd behind, closing in with Adam Dowling 4 seconds falling off from the back of that, from this group. Simon Wall and Jordan Kelly have swapped places, so Simon Wall going really well, as I said. Very competent sim racer. We see up ahead Brian McManus, Adam Dowling. Brad O'Neill's with another spin. He's not going to be... Oh, and Dominic Estanis as well. So Brad not having, after that, a really impressive start to the race up into 2nd position. He won't be happy with that. Let's just have a look here. Sanyo Alpha's closing in onto the back of Keith Dempsey. We come down into left into this tight, almost well, it is a chicane, but it's, you can ride out so wide onto the right hand side and just get it all wrong, lose the back of the car as it rotates around. Keith taking a very tight line through there. Sanyo, let's see if we can get a run on Keith down into the start finish straight. So pit entry onto the right hand side. Let's just see. No, they're very much coming out through there. Keith going into a defensive line, so let's just see if Keith can hold him off, but it looks like Sanyo has the pace on Keith at the moment. And the group behind is led up by Brian McManus with Adam Dowling, Simon Wall behind. And we're back to Jordan Kelly is actually closing in on that group as well, as is Tony Stack. We know Pat Masters there tonight in the Porsche as well, but Sergey Grabun is a very confident sim racer as well. I'm sure he's going to be closing in on that group as well. Then in 9th position is Ronan Hederman in the Ferrari with Evan Watt. They'll be having a great dice in this race, I'd say, later on, so we keep an eye on those guys. Sanyo Alpha in the meantime still on the back bumper of Keith Dempsey's car. And let's just ride on board with Sanyo Alpha. So as I was saying, he obviously has the pace, but we're not sure if Keith is at this stage just running a different tyre. We can't see that from the commentary box, but Sanyo trying it up the inside. And again, Keith goes defensive, managed to hold him off. So just run a little bit wide, gives Keith a second on that. Lets Brian McManus get a sniff at the back of Sanyo's car, and Brian McManus will be gunning for blood at this race after a little lock up there from Brian. He won't be happy with that, but of course McManus losing the win in the last race under yellow flags to Sanyo. there was no penalty given to Sanyo at that stage because the rules didn't state anything around that particular incident, but it was reviewed by the clerk of the course and race control afterwards, but no penalty was given. So you can just see how quick Sanyo was able to close in on the back. And let's just consider this for a second. That's Keith Dempsey out in front, so under braking, you would assume at this stage it must be running different setups and different tyres, with just how much Sanyo was able to close in on the back of Keith Dempsey. That might pay off for Keith if he can hold him off for the second half of this race. Running in lap 4, look how close Brian McManus is able to close in on the back of Sanyo. So that is Sanyo spinning off, Keith Dempsey spinning off. Not even sure what happened there, if I'm being honest. That's Ronan shouting in the background, so there's obviously something going on. But that promotes Adam Dowling up into second place with Simon Wall and Jordan Kelly. And Sanyo Alpha has it all got to do. He's got Brian McManus behind him, Sergio Graben. This is a great race now. This is what we all tune in to see. Evan Walsh having a look at that. So Adam Dowling currently in second place with Simon Wall following in on him, with Jordan Kelly in fourth position. Keith Dempsey now just comfortably came through all of that, whatever that mayhem was in the middle. But that is...
Yeah, I hate to interrupt, but there's a guy going mad on Discord. Okay.
Yeah, and that is...
I have to take my headset off.
So we have gone into lap 5. It is Keith Dempsey from Simon Wall, so it changes that mistake from Adam Dowling in the back now. I think this was Simon Wall closing in on top of him, so that is the end of that. So we'll just stay with this as we've got changes down the back. Brad O'Neill making his moves with Evan Walsh and Sergio Graben. So bit of a hectic race. Sanyo Alpha is holding off Brian McManus for the moment as it is, but Brian, will just ride on board, is closing up on the back of Sanyo Alpha again.
Stop it, please.
So currently, as we were saying, we've got Keith Dempsey out in first. It's lap 6. Simon Wall in a spectacular race out in second place. So we'll see with Adam Dowling in third place and Jordan Kelly around at the top 5 with Tony Stack. Sanyo Alpha in 6th place. So let's ride on board with Sanyo Alpha. He was very vocal on our Discord chat, obviously unhappy with whatever the incident was with Brian McManus, but Brian McManus just sitting back, I'd say at the moment, just more conservative on those tyres, while Brad O'Neill's is 3 seconds off the front. So again, 141.8 from Keith Dempsey, our current race leader, comfortably out in front at the moment, followed by Simon Wall. And then what a great result that would be for Simon Wall. I was saying it at the start of the race, he was one to watch. He's such a a smooth and consistent sim racer, and he's somebody who's raced a lot with us, but I've been keeping an eye on him, and he's been very consistent in terms of being able to just keep speed, stay out of trouble, and he's shown that today. It'll be a great podium for him if he can carry that for the next 12 laps. So Daniel Danis as well, putting in his fastest lap. So in actual fact, a lot of these sim racers within the top 15, 16 here, all very confident, but it just shows the level that Keith Dempsey is at to be able to pull that much of a gap at the front. So Sanyo Alpha up at position again. And we'll just keep an eye on Brian McManus, who's fallen back a small bit, 2 seconds off the back of that, so maybe another instant there. But to watch this race very, very closely, I'm sure Sanyo is going to be pushing hard to come back up through the field. It's a current championship leader with Sanyo Alpha, with second place McManus behind him as well, so we'll be watching this very keenly to see how these guys finish out in this race, as we have one more round of this championship, which is our final round in Spa, which is in 2 weeks time. So Brad O'Neill's as well, so Brad recovering well after some initial issues, but Simon Wall 42.3, just going better and better is Simon. So I called him out at the start of the race. He's some damage on that car, but Simon is really showing pace around here, and these cars aren't easy to drive at all, I can tell you that. Especially as we get to this stage, halfway stage of the race, those tyres are going to be more or less knackered out. In sim racing, somebody's taking a spin there as well. I'm sure was that Evan Walsh. But the tyres do overheat, they do wear, and they do degenerate as well. In some of the sim race like iRacing, you actually leave marbles and rubber on the track as well, which is all bringing it a lot closer. But a little bit sideways there from Simon, a little bit messy. Has that allowed Adam Dowling to catch up? It has. So let's just ride on board of Adam Dowling to see. Sanyo Alpha has made a move on Jordan Kelly behind, so it won't be long before Sanyo Alpha is up on the back bumper of Adam Dowling. But let's just stay with Adam Dowling at the moment. I said we're on lap 8. So coming up to the halfway point of this race, we have in first place Keith Dempsey, followed by Simon Wall, Adam Dowling, Sanyo Alpha and Jordan Kelly ran at the top 5. Brian McManus, he'll be kicking himself. He wants to be up with Sanyo. He wants to be taking points back and bringing this championship to the last race in Spa in 2 weeks time. Then we've Brad O'Neill's ever quick, Tony Stack behind him, Peter McCann, podium for the last 3 races for Peter McCann, if I remember that correctly. So Peter back down into the mid-pack. Obviously a couple of issues for Peter. Then we've got Sergey and Ronan and Evan Walsh in the gaggle behind them, with Michael McCarthy, Rob O'Neill, Danius, James and Brian rounding out that. So Sanyo closing in these, he is wider line out of that by Adam Dowling. Keith Dempsey nearly 10 seconds up the road at this stage, so Keith just showing his class after all of that messing in around lap 4. Sanyo Alpha is putting all the pressure onto the back of that Porsche of Adam Dowling at the moment. You can just see how much the cars are moving around on this bumpy circuit. Not the best model track, I have to say, in any opinion, but a very technical track. Sanyo tries it up the inside. He's got that move stuck. He's a master of that. He's somehow able to make the car stick on the brakes and just get into that apex cleaner and quicker and get the car out at pace as well. Quite the pilot, but he is now going to be closed in onto the back of Simon Wall. But as I was saying, I've been praising Simon Wall for the whole race. I don't think Simon will make it as easy as that. Both in the same cars. Sanyo was able to close up onto the back of Adam Dowling and just get later onto the brakes into that apex and get around a lot easier than I would have expected. So as we watch, it's Keith Dempsey leading through the group, 10 seconds up the road now. As we just see in the background, can we see Sanyo Alpha coming around just there? So it's nearly a full start-finish straight length between these guys. with 10 laps to go. So can Sanyo Alpha get past Simon Wall with 10 laps and then pull in Keith Dempsey a second a lap? That's going to be a big ask, but Sanyo is quite the pilot, so we'll see how he gets on with that. I'm just going to check the championship standings here as we're looking at that to see what way we were coming into this race. But I know that as we're looking there's a whole gaggle of changes. So that's Brian McManus up into 4th place, Jordan Kelly relegated down, Brad Neens into 6th. Sanyo Alpha had a spin, so as I was looking away to the time screen, so Sanyo Alpha has gone back down into 7th position, which he will not be happy because that promotes Brian McManus, as I was saying, up into 4th place. So now Brian up the inside of Adam Dowling. Can he make that one stick? I think he has. He's into 3rd place, back down to 4th. It's a great race between these two, very fair racers in fairness, great friends online as well. And Brian McManus is cleanly through. Great for the sim race. That's Brian promoted onto the podium, and now can he close down onto the back of Simon Wall. So how quickly that changed around. We're only talking about Sanyo Alpha being in this position no more than half a lap ago. So Sanyo obviously had an issue, is down in 7th place with Tony Sack and Jordan Kelly each side of him. As we say that, Keith Dempsey goes fastest with a 41.1. So Keith obviously flying now, so halfway through the race, finding his rhythm, finding his pace. I'm just looking over it there in the sim. He's happy out with his headphones on. He can't hear any of the nonsense I'm garbaging out at the moment. Let's go and have a look online, see if there any comments or anyone saying anything at all. Should have checked in on that a long time ago. Good man, Damon McMullen watching. Why aren't you racing with us tonight, Damon? You be a man for this. So, no Marty Moore tonight as well. No Pat Masterson. But the usual regulars of VRA out with us tonight. I was saying, Aaron Daly here from F1spy.com, checking out what we're doing. Hopefully they're going to be looking at esports in the future. We're not sure if that's on their radar yet, but up here having a look at what we're at. Sanyo Alpha up to 6th place. You can just see that's Peter McCann struggling. I'm not sure if there's damage on that car. Let's just ride on board with Peter McCann. It looks okay at the moment, but Sanyo Alpha was carrying damage. You can see there the way the windscreen on that and the steering angle is off. So let's just see if Brian McManus is closing in onto the back of Simon Wall. He would love to take 2nd place at this, but you can be nearly sure Sanyo Alpha is going to close back up. He's 6 seconds in on Brad O'Neens with 7 laps to go, so that's going to be a big ask of him. Let me just go and check what way our championship standings were going into this. That's what I started off, and every time I look away something happens. Brad O'Neens on Adam Downs. Adam Dowling just going backwards. Adam Downs in 3rd position at one stage, now relegated down into 5th place. So as he got issues with the car, and now he's going to have to contend with Sanyo Alpha again. So currently in terms of lap times, Keith Dempsey with a 41 dead, Brian McManus with a 40.9, so Sanyo Alpha with a 40.2, and Peter McCann with a 40.8. So in fairness, Keith Dempsey not the fastest man on the track, but definitely the most consistent. He's nearly 12 seconds up the road now. As we look at Brian McManus fighting on the back bumper of Simon Wall. So this 4th position, Brian trying it up the inside. I'm sure he'll have the line on this. Looks like he's got it done. Little lock up, side by side. Simon just on the power a little bit earlier, but now Brian's going to have to move on as they head into the final 2 corners before the straight. And that's a sneaky move by Brad up the inside. So Now we've got race on. These two guys were at each other all week on our Facebook group chat about this race. So we've got Brad O'Neill's hunting down the back of Brian McManus, chasing down Keith McManus. And look at that, Brad O'Neill's with a 40.9 as we was talking about lap time. So Brad putting in his fastest lap. Simon Wall won't be giving up in the back of these two guys. Adam Dowling holding off the back of Sanyo Alphas. He's locked up as well. You can see the damage he's carrying on that car. So everyone putting in their purple laps at this stage, lap 13. So those tyres still obviously all going good. But out in front, it's Keith Dempsey, happy out leading this race. Just controlling the pace now. 13 seconds, 7 laps to go. So Keith will be controlling his lap times and his tyres. He's looking very comfortable there in the sim behind me. Kind of cool having Keith up here tonight. So full house, all 3 sims rocking away tonight. As I said, we've got other guests in with us, and it is me just waffling away on the mic for you guys. I still can't find these times, which I should have had before the race. I'll just stay on board. Let's go back. Brad is off. Brad, he won't be happy with that again. He's having a night, as is Brian McManus. So that is disappointing. That puts Sanyo Alpha up into 5th. So what a dramatic race. We just literally had everyone in every position, I think, at some stage in this race. Never had that before. That is disappointing. So you've now got Peter McCann back on the podium. This could be 4 podiums in a row for Peter McCann. Sanyo Alpha up into 4th place. He is 4 seconds off the back of Peter McCann. Brian McManus. So let's just stay with these two, because this is now turning into a bit of a grudge match between Brian McManus and Sanyo Alpha. As we come down into the straight, as Brian got to run him, I think he has. Sanyo goes defensive. Brian pulls out. He's going to try it around the outside later onto the brakes. He's going to be brave to do that.
Rob, you there? Yeah. Sanyo's taking the play.
Alright, fine. He's in 4th place. Okay, so lap 14, we've got Keith Dempsey in 1st position with Adam Dowling up in 2nd. Adam's down, how long have we said that in this race? He's been up and down, but if Adam Dowling can bring that home ahead of Peter McCann, we will never hear the end of that one. Sanyo Alpha's promoted himself back up into 4th place with Tony Stack behind him. Is that Brian McManus with another spin after coming close contact with Sanyo Alpha? There will be incidents coming in for the week after this race. Jordan Kelly then 9th place. Action-packed, tight grade around Zandvoort as well. So I think we're coming up to back markers at the moment. Sergey Grabin hasn't really been able to make the type of impact he can in these races. So he's down in 9th place. Ronan Hederman, you'll probably hear him sign in the background behind me. He started in 13th, he's up to 10th. Brad O'Neill's taking another spin. So the red mist has descended on this race. So that is Ronan up the inside of Brad O'Neill's. Let's see how this is going to hold out. Brad just quicker through there. So 20 seconds up the road. Keith Dempsey, current race leader. And as we were saying earlier in the race, Keith himself is now representing Ireland in the FIA Motorsports Games, which is coming up in November, which will be great for Keith. So very excited to report that tonight. But Keith just flying out there, look at that. Not an issue on that car. Adam Dowling now, he's got Peter McCann closed in. Let's stick with these guys. Great racers all the time, having a bit of crack. They just love turning up, doing their race on a Wednesday night. That's what VRA is all about. Just having a bit of fun, bit of clean racing. As we say, we like it when it's fast and fair and a bit of fun. That's what VRA is all about. So we'll stay with these guys. They'll be loving this more than anything. All the time in the background, they've got Sanyo Alpha closing them in with Tony Stack. Keith Dempsey on lap 15 with 5 to go, 21 seconds, just dominant out in front. And just remind everyone, Keith's not on his own sim tonight. He turned up here tonight at VRA sat in. The sim was actually set up, would you believe, after the drifting weekend, so all the settings were off. Keith was able to sit into that, get it dialed in, no setup onto the car, and it would just show as he puts in his fastest lap as I'm saying that. So McCann and Dowling will be ear to ear with smiles. This is great racing for them. So it's a Porsche against the Ferrari as we come into the start-finish straight. Let's see if the extra power of the Ferrari can close in onto the Porsche. They're pretty much matched. Actually, the Porsche is pulling away off the curb, but you can just see there at the end, McCann just trying a little lock up from Adam Dowling. Adam's got it wrong, so McCann's going to capitalise. He spins, and he is going to be getting one hell of a night of heckling as he lets Samuel Alpha back up onto the position. So that's McCann relegated down to fourth with a spin, allowing Samuel Alpha up into fourth place. Brian McManus then back down in sixth. At one stage he was looking so well in that championship as we bring it into the last round in Spa in 2 weeks time. 23 seconds up the road now to Keith Dempsey. Just a dominant display. 4 laps to go. So we just go. Brian McManus needs to close in on Tony Stack. Needs to get as many points as he can to try and bring this down to the last race. But if I'm being honest, I don't think, unless there is more drama to be had, that he will have enough time in that, enough points from this round to bring it to the last round of the championship. We won't bite him off just yet. It's up the inside he goes. So is Tony Stack going to be able to defend? He's got the inside line of this, but neck and neck as they come down into this tight, as I was saying, chicane type section. I'm not going to attempt the names, they're all in Dutch, double Dutch to me, to be honest. So very clean lines there. I'm not even sure if Tony Stack decided to defend that or not, but McManus has got the boot down now as he runs. As soon as I say that, commentator's curse, that allows Tony Stack to come back up the inside. So Tony Stack back up into 5th place, and Brian with it all to do again as they come down. So let's ride on board with Brian. As Tony Stack just tries to carry the speed. I think Brian might get it done here on the brakes. Tony taking a wider line, see if he can get the cut back, but not going to happen through that corner. So Brad O'Neill's down in 9th place, getting a fast lap to race for him, while meanwhile Samuel Alpha up into 2nd place. Missed that while all that was going on. But 25 seconds with 3 laps to go. That's not going to happen unless Keith Dempsey makes some type of mistake, which is going to be highly unlikely. So what a drive from Samuel Alpha to come all the way down the grid and back up into 2nd place, just showing the amount of speed he has under his right foot. Peter McCann back up onto the grid for Peter McCann over Adam Dowling. Peter will be delighted to get another podium to his name, but I'm sure Adam Dowling isn't going to make that too easy for him. Can Adam Dowling fight his way back into the back bumper of that Ferrari? We just right on board now with Adam Dowling. Peter McCann just seems to have better exit out of that corner. I'm surprised at how much he was able to pull there over Adam, actually. So maybe Adam's just struggling with tyres at this stage. But Samuel Alpha in 2nd place, a lot of damage to that car at this stage. He was very vocal on the Discord channel, which the drivers use as a almost like an onboard radio or communication system, just communicate between themselves. We don't broadcast that for the type of shenanigans that goes on in that and the language that's used, but you could imagine what was going on in that. As Keith Dempsey brings it over the line, he's more than 25 seconds up the road. As Peter McCann has pulled out 2 seconds over Adam Dowling already. So I'm just looking down through the grid. I can't see anybody really in any stage. Daniel Dennis putting his fastest lap at this late stage of the race. So just have a look at Adam Dowling to see is he struggling with that car, but so the individual table on this was Samuel Alpha with more or less 82 points coming into it, with Brian McManus with 49, 48. So what way is that looking at the moment? Jordan Kelly, David Yamamoto not on the grid tonight. Peter McCann could be doing well in this. He was on 30 points, with the same as Brad coming in. So Peter McCann will be extending his championship lead and could possibly end up with a top 3 out of this. But going into the last round, as we have Sanyo Alpha way out in front and will be named champion of the GTN Cup if he can hold this position to the end of the race with 1 lap to go. Peter McCann able to get some air between himself and Adam Dowling, so that contest is literally ended. I can't see anyone else. We'll just go back on board, right on board with Keith Dempsey at this stage. So as I'm just looking at that, it's no David Yamamoto, so that really doesn't bode well for Pro Sim Racing. In terms of total points, but Pro Sim on 83, as were Zari, so Daniel Steisman not racing as well. So this is going to be, this could take the team championship, if I'm reading this right, down to the last race in Spa. So Sanyo Alpha will be taking the driver championship, but the team championship will come down to the wire between Pro Sim Racing and Team Zari in Spa in 2 weeks time, as we watch Keith Dempsey bring us into the final lap of the race. Just a dominant display by Keith. Just looking at him, he's very controlled, calm, and looking almost like he's out for a Sunday drive in that sim there behind me as he goes past the back marker. Sanyo Alpha should take it home from this position, a little bit wide over the curbs there as he comes over the line. Peter McCann putting in his fastest lap. Is Peter McCann putting in a late charge to try and pull up onto the back of Sanyo Alpha? He's 2 seconds behind, with a lap to go, so he's not going to give up on that, is Peter. He's a charger to the end. Adam Dowling has fallen 7 seconds way off to the back as that. Sergey Grabin puts in his fastest time of the race. There's still time left in these. Brad O'Neill's down in 9th place. He won't be happy with that at all. Up into 2nd place, as I say that, he's up into 8 over Sergey Grabin, who's going to be fighting back in. Simon Wall, not sure what happened to Simon, but he was doing such a great race as Ronan Hederman takes over the line into his last lap. Evan Walsh, and I'm just hearing Keith Dempsey, I was going to say Peter Dempsey, Keith Dempsey just shouting at me he's going to do the fastest lap, so let's keep an eye on that. He obviously thinks there's points in this for him, but it's not like F1. So around into the second last corner, I believe, if I've got that right. It comes down past the pit entry. Dominant display, and yet again another top spot on the podium for a race winner. Keith Dempsey's lined up there as team number 3, but well done to Keith. Sanyo Alpha will take Peter McCann, has closed right up in onto the back of him, but Sanyo Alpha will, unless he makes a mistake around the second part of this corner, just right on board with Peter McCann. See how close did he get into the back. Sanyo Alpha taking 2nd place in our Zandvoort race, with Peter McCann 3rd place onto the podium. Adam Dowling rounding out the 4th spot. Brian McManus actually caught right up behind the back of that. Tony Stack, he'll be happy with a 6th place. Would have liked to be further up into the battles of it. Jordan Kelly, as always, in the Porsche, thereabouts in the battles. Sergey taking 8 ahead of Brad O'Neill's, and Simon Wall rounding at top 10. Ronan Hederman still in the battles. I'm looking at Keith here, he's already out of the sim and walking around. So we stay here with Ronan Hederman. Will Evan Walsh catch it in on the back? A lot of damage on that. No, Ronan's going to be able to take that 11th place. Evan Walsh, Michael McCarthy, Daniel Dennis going through. But again, a dominant win from Keith Dempsey. who is to represent Ireland in the FIA inaugural motorsport games in November, which is a real achievement for Keaton, a real achievement for VRA. As we wait for Brian to come around, already back into the pits as he were. So there you have it. That is rounding out the end of our race live from Zandvoort. Thanks for everyone who joined in. Join us next week for our iRacing race, and then for the final round the week after that in Spa Francorchamps, where it'll all come down to the wire between Pro Sim Racing and Team Zari. So I'll leave the broadcast with you there, and we will join you in 2 weeks' time.